Hey guys, welcome back. So let's discuss the astral realm in general today, um, and the numerous layers of it, potentially the multiple dimensions, of course, and its layers of frequencies. Okay, now I believe it's Hermes describes the in-between realm, either Hermes or Judas. I can't remember which text talks about this in-between realm where, yes, he describes the physical as a sort of lower realm that you don't want to be in, that you want to get out of, and the true home, the spirit world. But then there's that place in between where it is more hell than hell itself. I think that's how he describes it, just to paraphrase. I'll have to brush up on that a little bit. But he's talking about the astral realm, okay? And he even says, I believe, that people confuse the astral realm with the spirit realm, with the true heaven. And we see that in many near-death experiences where people see their light, blah, blah, they see their family, their relatives, they bring them in, and now you're in what you may think is heaven, because again, it feels familiar. You've been there before, right? And it feels better than the physical, because it's not as heavy and right and energetically weighed down. But it's not quite right? There's something off about it, and it's really more hell than hell itself, because it's deceptive. It makes you feel good, makes you feel like you're in a good place, just like that show, The Good Place. But it's like this prolonged suffering, this prolonged extraction, where it's not quite fully there. It still doesn't make sense. Something's not adding up. And before you can, let's say, put all the pieces together, before you know it, you're reincarnated, right? And somehow, some way, this is all happening simultaneously. All of these lives, these parallel lives, these dimensions, are happening at the same time. Okay, and the simple fact, I think, that it can make you feel good, it can deceive you with these energetic emotions, is a telltale sign that these dimensions, whether negative or positive, existing in what we know as the astral plane. Oh, that was a walnut. I hope that lands somewhere around me throughout this video so I can make this out of here safely. If they can deceive you with that energetic component, right, or if they can create the energetic component of positivity, then that leads me to conclude that these positive beings are deceptive in nature. And I was having a conversation earlier regarding the diet that we intake, okay? And the other person was saying, yeah, well, if you just raise your vibration, you may not necessarily need food, actual food, to exist. And I said, yeah, that's true. Jesus is said to have only eaten enough food to survive, so there would be no excess or excrement coming from him. There's many stories and accounts of monks in their meditative state being able to survive simply on sunlight, or simply on the etheric energy around them. But then again, that etheric energy is coming from somewhere. That energy input is coming from somewhere, meaning you still need an input. Now, remember, food, whether it's meat, vegetables, beans, whatever, berries, they're still energy. It's a different form of light energy, whether that's coming from the sun itself, or whether it's going into the food, into the plants, into the vegetables, into the animals themselves. Okay, so yes, it makes sense that raising your vibration, okay, This is getting quite dangerous, guys. It makes sense that raising your vibration can allow you to input higher vibratory elements into your system. But again, that is coming from somewhere else. And again, that leads me to conclude that even these higher vibratory beings still need an energy input. Because no matter how high your vibration is, you still need something to give it to you, whether it's the sun, the energy around you, whatever. It needs to come from outside of you to fulfill you. Okay. Now, if this was truly a pure realm, our simple connection to source would allow us to stand independently. Now, our actual connection, which we do have, allows us to stand, our spirit to stand independently. But we are surrounded by dead things. So the body itself is dead, and it needs dead things to function. It needs energy. The body itself is energy, dead, needs more energy, dead, to function. So this system is not a true Ponzi scheme. If you can, the way I picture it is like a triangle with an Ouroboros or an infinity sign below it. That infinity is the energy input, which is us, that is being constantly recycled, creating an energetic friction, an energetic exchange that then trickles up towards the pinnacle of the pyramid, the pinnacle of the hierarchy. Okay, so these higher level beings are extracting, that was close, are extracting the energy from below, and they're playing us from both sides. There's a competition between the positive and the negative. Therefore, all of these positive and negative dimensions likely exist within the construct of what we know as the astral realm, the astrology. Okay. So these are the connections that I'm making regarding this. And the true spirit world is outside of this flame, outside of this construct, this matrix-like layered dimension idea that I'm proposing, that is self-fulfilled. So imagine my fist being the spiritual component and it just being engulfed in energetic stuff around it, right? Well, in order to go back to the true place of spirit, this energetic stuff needs to come off, because that does not exist there, that will not penetrate. So if you can leave that behind and sort of penetrate the veil, I think maybe that is a way to return. And again, the astral realm is purely memory based and emotional. That's why people are so attracted to their relatives upon entering the white life, because it's that emotional memory that is triggered. Oh, nice relatives, good people in my life, good feeling, must be good to go in there. Okay, and people are still attached to those memories, are still attached to those people. More likely those people have been recycled already, and their energetic imprint is just being manipulated to deceive them. Okay, so they're not even the actual relatives in the first place, but their simple attachment to that idea, to that memory, is attaching them to the astral realm. So that's why I said through various texts and gospels that in order to maybe escape these elders or archons grasp, you need to be completely detached from the memories of this place, from anything energetic here. Because the moment you're still attached to anything that you did here, or anything that you may find in the astral realm, because it's all fractals of each other, that is the moment that they can then pull you back in. Now, a quick little story time. I presented this idea in this spiritual group that I was in, and I had been observing it for a while. It's very good stuff, in my opinion. the leader of the group helped us with a lot of things in our personal lives. So she was very helpful in a specific regard. And she's very clairvoyant. She has developed her abilities to be able to see these entities, first of all, who are masquerading as positive entities, but they're really these negative dragonic beings. Okay. And she kind of first opened my eyes to this type of idea. But again, she had openly admitted that, hey, before I used to think these entities were good. Then I, raised my vibration, raised my level of awareness, and now I can see that they're actually evil. They're just portraying themselves to be good with this veneer of white light. Okay, so they're these deceptive entities that are just messing with us in the form of dragons, actually. Dragons being at the top of the hierarchy, and I've discussed this before. But I presented this idea, okay, and this is really one of the first times I've ever asked questions, because I knew what I'm about to tell you was going to happen. That, hey, what if what if it goes even further and all these positive dimensions, because her claim is that after 5D, everything is just love and light, it's all dandy, you can go to whatever world you want. But what if the construct is not fully just from 3D to 5D? What if the astral realms as we know it go beyond that, and the construct is all of it? And she basically got very offended. One of the group admins told me to just watch her videos, basically. And said, well, no, you're looking too much into it, you're too dark, you're this and that. It's kind of basically the love and light argument, saying, no, that's too dark, you can't be that way, this is what I see, and you can either trust me or you can't. And I simply replied, hey, I have experience with cult mentalities, and I like to form my opinion based on many perspectives, and I'm just presenting this, I don't need any further replies. And then I told the other person that replied to me that considering my theory kind of aberration or junk or whatever she called it was a bit disrespectful and not conducive to a healthy conversation, and she should be careful of that, as people will not ask any more questions. I ended up getting kicked out. So, just a small tidbit, I guess, of showing that any person that reacts in such a harsh manner when being challenged isn't really as spiritually evolved as they may say. And it may lead me to further conclude that what I am saying is true, potentially, that these beings go a lot further down the line, and the system is much greater than we think. Or I could be completely wrong. I don't know. This is why I like working with people like her, that group mentor, because they can see what I'm inferring about, right? What I'm thinking about, what I'm theorizing. And that's why I attract a lot of life path 11s or 2s into my life, because they're extremely psychic. Now, I don't necessarily trust every psychic. I used to be obsessed with them because a lot of them are very naive, and they're not privy to this type of idea that not every being that they talk to, or not every source, is helping them. And in my opinion, no actual being, no guide is truly helping them, because they are essentially working as gatekeepers, and only the true source, the true Christ, even coming from that source, from outside of all these matrices, is maybe working with our higher spiritual self, our spark, our spirit, to make us more aware, to wake us up to all of the traps. So I do love the type of people that can see into multiple dimensions and confirm the things that I'm saying, because I'm just trying to find out the truth. So I'm not concerned with being right. I hope she's right, and after 5D it's all butterflies, and we can just do our own thing. But in my opinion, why is there the heavy push here that this world is like a school? Why is such the heavy need to influence and convince us of that idea? To me, it sounds very similar to the schooling structure here, where your parents furiously want you to finish college, want you to go to a university, to have those 4, 6, 8 years in, so that you can be very successful. But then we look at all the millionaires, and especially at the billionaires and trillionaires and whatever, and their success did not come from this college university structure. So the point of that structure was really to create workers for them. It's not even about them running businesses. It's not even what they care about. They care about maintaining control, because they're born into certain influences on this planet, and they join certain clubs and have certain networking connections that allows them to think independently and see from a different perspective that the schooling structure does not even tell you about. So it's likely that the astral schooling structure of these elders is designed to do the same thing, which is create worker bees for energy extraction. Because when you get that engineering job and you go work a 9 to 5, which is not a bad thing, you're making good money, and you can use that to break out of the whole system if you're smart enough. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that their goal was not for you to do that. Their goal was for you to be a component of the mechanism so that they can use you, and to help you not think outside the box, but think inside the box and hold up the box. So is it possible that the astral realm is working in the same way as above, so below? It's all fractals. It's the same deception over and over again. They have no new tricks. You just have to look around you and find them all. So that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Leave this video a like if you enjoyed the information presented and me dodging all the walnuts falling from the sky. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.